Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Truth, where we lift the world's inconsistencies, lesson through smoking and drinking, of course. And today's episode, we talk about the weirdest fucking news out there. And first of all, we'll start with a man in Manchester, a UK mother was horrified to find a used heroin needle in a loaf of bread she'd purchased from a local Tesco store, which is like Coles and Woolies over there. While making her 10-year-old son a sandwich, the woman discovered a dirty needle had been pushed through a loaf's plastic wrapper. Alarmed and distressed, she notified authorities, and the DNA that they took tracing to link the blood-stained syringe to David Rodgers, 61-year-old man of Salford, UK. Hunter, you've heard this story. What do you think?
61-year-old junkie. That's kind of funny.
And he was in, you know, in Coles and Woolies.
Yeah. What the hell were you doing in Coles or Tesco with your little needle and booting up? You know, like what you fucking thinking you get? Like what?
Hiding it in a loaf of bread.
What is wrong with society? And then jamming it into a loaf of bread, and this poor woman bought it.
That's it.
And I think wasn't his excuse he wanted to hide it from his missus?
Yes. He claimed that he did this out of desperation to prevent his wife from finding out he was using the drug again. So
he's
he hid
a
the thing.
former user by the sound of it. And
61-year-old.
What? So he went to Tesco to hide, to boot up? Wouldn't he go out the back near the dumpster?
That's it.
You know?
Here's a picture of him. It looks like him anyway, but no, close to him anyway.
That's Weddy.
It is kind of sad, 61-year-old, but fuck, you know, there's a lot of weird things happening out there. And also another weird story that we hear from UK is Animal-Semen attacks on teen girls in United Kingdom happening again. It's another weird story. An animal-semen wielding menace is on the loose in the United Kingdom. A strange man approached two teen girls and smeared a white, sticky liquid on their clothing in Bury, Bury near Manchester a month or so ago. It has been reported. The account is suspiciously similar to attacks occurred in teen girls a few years ago, in November 2009 to January 2010. And the 15-year-old victim reported a man sullying her with liquid, while a 14-year-old said a man bumped into her and wiped an icky substance on her while she was with her mother. So obviously they must have tested this liquid and it came up on semen of an animal. How the fuck do you get semen out of an animal, Hannah?
They're going to have to do their little bit of research there. They'll need Scotland Yard on this.
Yes.
They'll, well obviously he may be working in that field, you'd imagine, unless he's just going out at night and jerking off horses, Tom Green style. Look at me, daddy.
What are you doing to that horse? This is a stunt farm, boy. I want to try the horse. Hey, no, I want to try the horse. Come over here. This is your look at me, Daddy. I'm a farmer. This is fun. Look at me, Daddy. I'm a farmer. Daddy. I want to be a farmer.
What kind of an animal
would do such a thing?
Yeah, exactly. You know, they'd be looking at it, pinpointing. This is the semen of a dog. This is the semen of a
What's the
turtle.
motive? What's he trying to? Is he an animal activist?
Maybe, you know, like when they throw blood at fur coats. You know, hey, take this.
Yeah, animal semen.
You don't fuck animals, but
eat a dick and have this too.
But it is weird. But they haven't found him yet. But they did a description on the man. It says, to the original offender was never caught. Police did release a CCTV footage of the man they believed to be responsible was at the age between 25 and 35. He's described as a pervert, obviously, a white man, and also carrying a bag. So anyone who's white, that's between the age of 25 and 35, carrying a bag, is a suspect.
So they've narrowed it down to about 20 million people in UK. Yeah, that's good. They're on the right track.
That's a lot. That's a lot of men that are sus. You know, I mean, why would you do such a thing?
Don't know.
Well, moving on to another story. Andrew Mendoza had sex with a horse, and he was trying to make the horse have a baby. That's what he was stating. His girlfriend was unreliable, so he went out to find a stable relationship. according to the signed statement that Andrew Mendoza wrote, to call one out that he told himself that he wouldn't hear from her and he would go next door and mess with a neighbour's horse, and she didn't call and he did the deed. So obviously this bloke was pissed off with his missus that he didn't call that night.
Yeah.
Went over next door neighbour, fucked the horse, and he actually believed that he could father a horse. I know.
What was he thinking? Who are his parents? And did they bring him up to believe that anything you fuck will bear your child?
What was he
What
doing
the
these
fuck?
things?
I want to fuck a dolphin.
Yeah, there you go. And actually he said here, he
He's
goes,
a bit messed up.
and he said, he stated, I was trying to make the horse have a baby. I was thinking it would have a horseman baby. I ain't going to lie, I blew a nut in the horse.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe you listen to that Korean pop song.
Yeah.
Excellent horse-like lady.
Excellent horse-like lady. This is actually an excerpt of his statement. Can you read that up?
Where
Hannah?
are we?
That excerpt just.
My name is Andrew Mendoza. I'm 29 years of age. I can read and write the English language. I do know that the difference between the truth and the lie. A couple of months ago, I was at my house waiting for my girlfriend to call. Told myself if she doesn't call me, I was going next door to mess with a neighbour's horse. Kinky Kelly. Anyway, around 11 PM, my girlfriend had not called. I went next door to the neighbour's pen. When I walked up there to the fence, the neighbour's brown horse came up to me. Then I got in the pen with the horse and I dumped out the water bucket and turned it upside down and put it behind the horse. Moved the horse's tail and put my dick, which I was already hard in the horse, started to fuck the horse. This is hard to read, let me tell you. The horse did not try to move or nothing. It just stood there when I was fucking it. I guess the horse was liking it. This went on for about 5 or 10 minutes. He's a stayer, in the industry, he's a stayer. I guess the horse I went on for 5 or 10 minutes. Was trying to make the horse have a baby. I was thinking it would have a baby.
But I mean, what's wrong with this guy?
He's lucky he didn't get booted.
Yes.
What's the old rule of do not walk behind a horse?
You get booted up.
Unless your dick's in your hand. The horse will be,
I mean, that's what he stated. I mean, it was a detailed statement that he
They
had.
probably made him write that, didn't they?
Yeah, probably. But he's not the only guy that, do bestiality. There's also a lot of people that got caught, but we'll talk about next time. But this is the cream of the crop.
Oh yeah.
Gregory Matthew Bruni, a naked intruder, pooped and masturbated in Tony Land's Florida home. And the story goes, in Florida there are violent people, naked people, poopers and masturbators, but rarely there is one man of a total package, as they say. When Tony and LaDonna Land discovered naked carny worker Gregory Matthew Bruni on their roof, the night had just begun. Bruni, 21, allegedly assaulted Tony Land, trashed the couple's North Fort Myers home, and then defecated and masturbated inside the house. I mean, what the fuck? What is going on with this guy?
What else did you do on a Saturday night?
Well, exactly. The whole story was he's a carny, and as you see the picture, he's a normal looking bloke. I mean, he is. And they heard a noise, sound of thunder, so they went up and they seen Bruno on top of the roof, completely naked. So allegedly, Bruno jumped down on top of the Tony and knocked him over, and then he ran into the house, pulled a big screen TV off the wall, spilled the contents of a vacuum into the floor, and around this time, LaDonna grabbed the gun and began firing at the movie. So she missed, and they called the 911.
Fucking Yanks. She's lucky she didn't shoot her fucking husband.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know who the hell he is, he's naked, he ran to my damn house, rah rah rah. And then after the shots were fired, you think you get the fuck out of there. So old mate began to fucking jerk off while the old mate was firing at him in the living room. And he headed toward the son's bedroom to rub some clothing on his face. And then when the deputies arrived, they attempted to control him. and they saw him wildly playing around speaking nonsense. And they also discovered that he had defecated on the floor in 2 spots within the home.
Fuck me, that just leaves you speechless almost, doesn't it? Like,
not only who's on the roof naked,
you could pinpoint, or you could point the finger and say it's this, it's that, he's fucked in the head or whatever, but for me, yeah, I'd like to think, what's he smoking? Ice, heroin, crack? Fuck me, is there a drug out there that makes you do that now? Because that's some wild shit. Like, he's given poor old Carney's a bad name.
Oh, it's fucked up. What can you do? Let's recap the whole story. He got naked, climbed to Land's roof, attacked Tony Land by jumping on him, hitting his shoulder, ran to his house, knocked down a TV and spilled the contents of a vacuum on the floor, dodges bullets, fired at LaDonna, Land, and started masturbating in the living room, rubbed clothes on his face in the Land's son's room, and he defecated on the floor in 2 places, and drank the contents of the vacuum. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe he was dreaming. One of those people that sleepwalks. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's another episode of The Hard Truth. We'll see you next time.
Oh, it ain't no fun no more. I don't know what to say.